Welcome to the Lark Building on Sunbury Street in Shamokin. It's an old bank building that I'm currently renovating, built in 1887. My great-grandfather was an industrialist, truly in the sense of the word. He had a number of businesses that he started through his career, including some garment companies. He started Lark Overalls, Lark and Lark. He also had a number of coal mines, at one point having 8 anthracite mines and 8 bituminous coal mines in Pennsylvania and West Virginia. The building was built in 1887 and occupied by the First National Bank. They used to have their letters on the outside of the building, and they were chipped off when they were no longer in the building. The First National Bank operated in this location until 1932, when they were bought by the Dime Bank. The new merged bank became National Dime Bank. National Dime Bank operated until 1967, when it was bought in turn by Pennsylvania National Bank. Pennsylvania National, through some name changes and additional acquisitions, merged into M&T, and M&T still operates out of one of the original National Dime locations at the corner of Market and Independence Streets. So through the Great Depression, 1930, 1931, there were a number of bank runs all across the country. A bank run is when the depositors to a bank demand their money out right away. A bank doesn't usually keep all the cash that gets deposited into the bank. You make your deposit, the bank turns around and puts that money to work. It buys treasury bonds, it loans the money out, it puts the money to work to make money for the bank. You can imagine how if a normal person can't get their money out of the bank, the panic that would cause. That panic can collapse a bank. One of my favorite movies is It's a Wonderful Life, the Christmas story with George Bailey. And in that movie, there's a run on the savings and loan, George Bailey's savings and loan. He ends up using his honeymoon vacation money to help pay back some of the depositors as they're kind of experiencing a run on the bank. H. Wilson Lark got word that there was going to be a run on his bank, so he hired his driver out, got a cigar and a newspaper, and had his driver just drive him around town all day as he sat in the back of his car, smoking a cigar, reading the newspaper, just exhibiting this calmness. And his idea was that if he was not worried about a thing, then why should, the average guy walking down the street be worried about a thing? If Mr. Lark's okay and good, I'm okay. And wasn't really the case, because when he got home that night, we have a popular family story, that when he got home that night, he turned to his wife Grace and said, "Grace, we don't have a pot to piss in." Shamokin retained its strength through the Great Depression because we were so heavy into coal, and coal was always going to be needed. It was fueling the country at that time. Coal was king. But with that kind of solid background as a business, funding your banks kind of explains why there were no runs on the bank at that time. So in 1948, my great-grandfather and his son Henry started a radio station on the second floor of this building, WISL 1480 on the AM dial. At that time, the AM radio stations were the source of news, music, sports, etc. The radio personalities were celebrities of their time. WISL had its call letters designed out of Henry Wilson Lark's wife's name, Isabel Schroyer Lark. So that's where the WISL comes from. And they operated until 2006. Thankfully, through the efforts of some local radio enthusiasts, you can still find them as an internet station, WISL1480.com. I'm always curious when you walk into an old building or when you pass by an old building, you see the renovations that have been made to it over time, and not faulting folks for making the renovations that they do. Sometimes you wonder, what's truly hidden under those old improvements. In this space, there was a drop ceiling. The drop ceiling was at 10 feet high. And drop ceilings have their purpose. They cover utilities, they're good for energy efficiency, they reduce noise. But I had a sneaky feeling there was more to it than that. A couple of years ago, I went up into the loft here and popped a couple of ceiling tiles. Lo and behold, there was a glimpse of the tin ceiling, the pressed tin ceiling that we have in this room. And all I could see was just a little corner of it. That was all I needed. A few weeks later, I brought my kids up, gave them each a long pole, and they had most of the drop ceiling down in about half an hour. One of the interesting things that was found during the renovation was under the floor where the cameras are is 3-inch slate slabs for the first 10 feet as you enter the building. And most likely this was done as the boiler for the building, the coal-fired burners for the boiler downstairs, created a fireproof system to directly over the boilers. We're going to clean it up, polish it up, and it should be a cool addition to the new building. So my great-grandfather operated it in this space, and it's very cool to be tracing my footsteps through his and where he went to work daily. My approach to this project is really, it's half preservation and half renovation. And what I mean is that the half that's preservation is just making sure the building is stabilized, making sure it's secure, putting a new roof on the building to keep it watertight, making sure the doors and windows are safe and secure, running new utilities so those are safe as well and up to date. The other half of the project is a renovation, painting, drywall, a new kitchen, updating the bathrooms, and other smaller projects that make it more comfortable to live in here. The plan for the exterior of the building is really just to clean it up. There's old antennas from the radio station. There's some trim work that needs to be done. I would love to take it to a full architectural renovation, putting back windows that are full size. The windows that are in now have been trimmed down in size. The building has been handed down from my great-grandfather through my family. For a while, it was kept as in a partnership between my parents and my brothers, myself. No one else really wanted to put the time, effort, and money into what needed to happen to preserve and renovate the building. I asked my brothers if they wanted to have a part in this, and they politely said, nope, it's all yours. And well, I don't know, maybe they were right, but it's become a labor of love for me. There's a lot of work to do here, but it's such a cool building. It's got to be preserved and saved.
I'm not a praying man, but if you're up there and you can hear me, show me the way. I'm at the end of my rope, right? Show me the way.
So we made that video 3 years ago, I think.
Come on now, 3 years ago?
I think it was 2022.
We've been slowly working on it. Let's show you what's going on down here in the main room.
Let's take a walk.
Watch the steps.
Okay, they're nice new steps.
A little different than before.
Holy heck.
Still have a little bit of move-in to do, wall hangings. Tell me what level you want.
Let's start with level 1. So this is the room where it happened,
Yeah, Hamilton.
Hamilton, yeah. So this is what, I'm going to go wide so we can see the whole renovation here of what you did. From the time that we made the interview to now, I mean, obviously I see the work that's done, but do you want anything you want to talk about as far as the process? Or
the process was twofold, an exterior renovation, sprucing it up. We had a bit of an incident during a high wind day. The wind blew the roof off, the old roof. We had a new roof planned to go on anyway, so it just emphasized getting that portion of the project rolling faster than anticipated, but it needed to happen anyway.
So this is where your office space is going to be, like your place to stay, or?
Yeah, the intent of the space is just a place to lay my head at night. It'll be the office for Lark Ventures and the projects we've got going through that. Most of the furniture came from my parents' house. One of the things that I know we touched on previously was Henry Lark, or H. Wilson Lark, I'm sorry. And so one of the things that I found him is all the corporate stamps.
Wow.
I made mention that he had a number of business ventures going. So this is the corporate seal of one of the companies that H. Wilson Lark started. So you'd slide a piece of paper, an official corporate document, in between the two plates, and then stamp it down hard, and it would emboss the paper with a raised certificate. I'm pretty sure this conference table came from this building at one point.
Okay.
So I don't know where it had a home, but somewhere inside here it had a home. This, I believe, was my great-grandfather's desk. It was handed down to my dad. My dad used it for the last 50 years in his home office. And to move it to here, I had to disassemble it. So for the first time I disassembled it, I noticed this. This is the notes of changing what I believe is what they're doing is changing the combination to the vault.
Oh, wow.
In the bank. This is 1921. It's got your left, right, left directions. 1930. I'm sorry, 1920.
Wow.
But the only thing I could think of that had a
That's some really nice handwriting too.
isn't it?
That's really, really, it's good penmanship.
But just this cool thing of like, I would have never found it had I not taken the desk apart.
Wow.
Putting it back together was a challenge.